thought leader, the founder of Maryam Library Foundation, which is making waves, which is making a difference.
So I decided to start running book drives, and I was interning at Help Aid Africa. I started this organization 3 years ago, and I'm still in high school, so it's definitely difficult to balance this all with schoolwork. So recently, especially, we've been receiving a lot of testimonials, photos, video interviews from the children there, and just seeing like the delight on their faces. I started out just like tutoring kids, or I was mainly doing it just for my high school requirement. And then volunteering ended up being such a addictive process for me. I ended up just wanting to work even harder and harder with different organizations, and then eventually I founded my own.
Hello and welcome to another fantastic episode of Pitch Cafe Podcast. Today we are here to support a very noble mission. We are all here in Silicon Valley with the best of the best in technology and best of the best in philanthropy. But are we able to make a difference to the rest of the world? We are here today with Maryam, and she is the thought leader, the founder of Maryam Library Foundation. She is not only empowering kids to avail education through books, but also changing their lives one step at a time. Let's find out more about Maryam Library Foundation and how you can make a difference in her amazing mission. This is a mission which is out to solve the problem of education in Africa and India and many more countries all over the world. So Maryam, welcome to Pitch Cafe Podcast.
Thank you.
What an honor to have you. I'll tell you why it's an honor. She has been awarded the President's Medal for Volunteer Service, and not just one, a ton of them. As you can see, she's wearing this badge of honor today on her collar, and she's wearing several of them. So I could not wait but get started on asking her, what motivated you to start Maryam Library Foundation?
So ever since I was a child, I've always loved books, and I was always reading for pleasure throughout my childhood. Stepping into high school, I realized how truly privileged I am to receive such a top-notch education in America, and I wanted to extend at least similar opportunities to children in third world countries. So I decided to start running book drives, and I was interning at Help Aid Africa when I got this idea. I realized that so many of the students, especially during quarantine, the only reason they were going to school was to receive food, and many of them were just walking to school barefoot. They had no books or educational material. So I decided that we could run book drives here and send books to Africa to just help them have at least similar opportunities to the ones that we have here.
So thank you, Maryam. That is an amazing level of commitment to making a difference. It's not just about you, it's about the rest of the world also. And tell me one moment where you felt that you were really making a difference in someone's life, like a child's life. How did that moment feel? What happened when you saw the impact of your work? How do you quantify the impact of your work?
So recently, especially, we've been receiving a lot of testimonials, photos, video interviews from the children there, and just seeing like the delight on their faces, being able to not just have like textbooks for school, but like puzzles and books to read for fun. It's just so inspiring to see that they're, enjoying themselves over there.
Fantastic. And this is a lot of effort from your part to get the books from people, to ship it to different countries, to make sure it reaches the right stakeholder. So tell me, what are some of the challenges you have been facing at Maryam Library Foundation, and what kind of goals are you out to meet? What are your goals like?
Yeah, so there have been a lot of challenges. I started this organization 3 years ago, and I'm still in high school, so it's definitely difficult to balance this all with schoolwork. And also just learning how to run a nonprofit, like finance-wise and fundraising. But even though the road has been difficult, it's been a really rewarding process seeing the impact that we've had. Currently, we are working on building 8 libraries in different parts of rural India in the villages there. And we're also working on a project in Kenya. We're going to be conducting 40 libraries there. So we're trying to raise 50K books for those.
Wow, that's an impressive number. So let's see how we can support this humongous effort. You mentioned you're going to do like 40 libraries. Is that correct?
Yes.
Oh my God. So you're at a point where you have a growing pain, you want to scale. There is a ton of help you require in terms of manpower, in terms of the number of books, in terms of making sure the book reaches the right stakeholder. So how can individuals and businesses help you? Let's say I'm an employee of Google or Meta or Microsoft, and I want to contribute. What is the best way to do it? Also, if I am also a non-profit organization in the education space, how can I partner with you?
As for corporations, we're definitely looking to partner with corporations that can sponsor the projects, especially because it's going to be the holiday giving season soon. So a lot of corporations like Google, Microsoft have campaigns for that time, and they will match your donations, or you can like have volunteer hours running book drives and they will match those donations as well. Specifically, like for $1,000, you can sponsor a library in Kenya, or you can, for $2,500, you can bring in 2,000 new books to build a new library in India. So please just check with your company organizers, and we're always looking for book donations, so please visit our website for the latest events and contributions.
So Maryam, I know we talked about the impact of your work. Can you tell us more geographically, which countries, what kind of impact you have been able to drive, and what did it take for you to drive this impact?
Yeah, of course. So far we have completed 5 library projects successfully, 1 in Uganda, another in Ghana, and then 3 in different parts of India. We are currently working on building 8 libraries in India, rural villages specifically, and we're also working on 40 libraries for a Kenya project, and this is going to require 50K books. We are working with Help Aid Africa for this, and for the India projects, we were working with OSAT and Literacy International.
Fantastic. OSAT is a project I volunteer for. I see the kind of impact they're making with building buildings for kids to go to school. Most of the buildings are worn out in the villages in India, and they're building infrastructure, so they're neck deep at the grassroots level in the education space. I think Maryam Library Foundation will be a great value add in bringing books to these kids who can barely go to school. I have also learned about Literacy International. They not only build great buildings, but they are also making an impact in building a great curriculum for the kids by training teachers. This is an initiative which Maryam Library Foundation can add lots of value to by donating books to them and improving the quality of education. So thank you, Maryam, for that. So Maryam, I see this amazing gold medal and award you have received. This is the President's Volunteer Service Award, a gold medal Maryam has received for her volunteer work. So Maryam, tell us all about how did you go about winning this medal. This is incredible. You're just in high school. You're doing what a lot of people I know, they're much older. They have achieved this. How did you go about, winning this award?
So in my freshman year, I had a lot of volunteer hours, and I was able to apply for the bronze medal. And then throughout high school, I was just volunteering more and more, not just through my own organization, but with other organizations. In both the clinical setting and the educational setting. So I received a gold medal twice and a bronze medal once. And then I realized that a lot of my volunteers in my own organization work so hard, and I wanted to provide this opportunity for them as well. So I was able to register Maryam Library Foundation to become a PVSA certifying organization by the AmeriCorps.
Yeah, and books are ways to transport a student into a different world, to feed their imagination. And whether it's Kenya or India, it's in your hands to make change or make an impact in the life of a kid who can barely afford food. We are aiming to give them education. So what is your message to youngsters? It's not just you. You want a whole workforce behind you to help these kids who can't afford 2 square meals a day. You're trying to give them education through books. So tell us, what is your message for youngsters who are considering you as a role model or trying to follow your footsteps? What is your message to them?
So I can tell you about my experience with volunteering. I started out just like tutoring kids, or I was mainly doing it just for my high school requirement. And then volunteering ended up being such an addictive process for me. I ended up just wanting to work even harder and harder with different organizations, and then eventually I founded my own. I think the most rewarding part of this process is just that when you are seeing like the impact you're having, you realize like you have to be grateful for the things that you have and the privileges that you have. And this will connect you with just either a higher power or just the universe in general. You will feel less like you want to ask for things and more grateful for the things that you have. And it just helps you feel better and more connected to the universe as a whole.
Wow, amazing. So now Maryam Library Foundation is able to grant these awards to passionate volunteers. This is how you run a volunteer organization. I'm so inspired. And I hope you're inspired to make your contribution to allow this organization to do more such amazing work. Thank you. Yeah. So Maria, what is your message for the volunteers?
I would just like to thank all my volunteers for helping achieve this level of success and for helping to serve over 1,000 children in these underserved communities.
Fantastic. What an amazing note to end this conversation with. Please connect with the larger whole. Try to make a difference. Be grateful for what you have and see what you can give. In giving, you receive. On this amazing note by Maryam, we hope to see donations from you. We want to make a difference with you. Any small contribution will make a difference. So let's make this whole initiative a huge success. Thank you so much for watching and being with us today. Thank you, Maryam.
Okay.